All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Bat to the Ball. I'm Andrew here to break down the Brewers and Giants series at San Francisco. Um, Game one, you had Brandon Sproat going up against Malay. I don't forget how to say his name. With the Reds for a while, so whatever. Um, this is a weird one. Basically because I don't really want to break it down necessarily because it's like it was a whole lot of nothing pretty much. Pretty much it was just like it was like Brewers got shut out in this one, 3-0, of course. Um, and it's just like every time that we felt like we were getting some momentum going for us, it was like we grinded into double play after double play, and it was just annoying. I do want to talk about a little bit about Sprout. And it was like Sprout had weird start, right? Because he did end up going 6 innings and got a quality start because he gave up only the 3 runs. I think struck out five, and allowed 3 walks. I think he also he hit a batter or two. I don't remember. Does it say here? Batter's face. No, that's fine. It doesn't really matter in the end. But either way, it's just like I just want to talk about it is like I think Sprout is perfectly fine. I think does he have a little bit of growing to do? Yes, we all kind of saw that. It was what we saw with Mizrowski last year. Type thing. It was that he has the stuff, but he's not putting it all together. Basically, that's the main thing or whatever. And it's like, and it's growing pains or whatever type thing. Sometimes I feel like fans kind of forget that it's just like that this is really his first season in the majors. Like he only made a few stars with the Mets and stuff like that, and I think it was like 4. So it was like 2 of them were good, 2 of them were bad. That tells me he's a little inconsistent and stuff like that. I think the main thing with Sprout is that he just doesn't have a strikeout pitch. Like he does get swinging and misses, but he also doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. It's just like guys will just sit there and foul off pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch, and you're just like, oh my god, please put something in play. But the whole point is that he's trying to get the strikeout. You know. I thought he was fine. It really what it came down to why this game was so annoying. It was that like we only got 3 hits. We got 3 hits and to walk twice. And really that's just sucks because it's like, and then it was like you had 2 ground ball double plays or whatever, and we'll get to that or whatever type thing. And I was like, I don't know, it was just like it was a bad game. It was like whatever. I could tell that we weren't winning this game. Kind of hoping we wouldn't get shut out, but it is what it is. Ultimately, it's like these games were really hard to watch because I couldn't really watch a majority of them. But Mally was feel like he was just like dealing pretty much. Um, the main thing that was most interesting is like the Bowers the Bowers ended up coming out. Originally, it was said it was initial reports were saying that it was a broken toe. Turns out it was already something that was already pre-broken. So it sounds like he's going to continue to play on it. Might be why he's been struggling as of recent, is dealing with a bit of pain, but I don't know. Fine. Does it mean that you might see Bowers play less outfield? Probably. But we will see how this goes or whatever. Hopefully Bowers isn't too bad. It sounds like it's just mainly um pain tolerance. So I guess if the toe is not really feeling up to it or whatever, or it's really doing pain, I assume he probably won't play. But I don't know. Really need Bowers though, so I was like, we definitely need him to stay in the lineup as much as humanly possible. I've seen people talk about, we need to stop playing Yelich, and I see her going just like we're not going to stop playing Yelich. He's the captain of the team and stuff like that. He's going to be the DA. He's going to be the designated hitter and stuff like that. So it's like he does need to get going, no doubt about that. But overall, Like, I don't really understand why everyone just seems like there are worse batters, man, in times like this, and it's just like the offense is just so stagnant, and it's been stagnant for so long, and it's becoming a huge problem and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just like the amount of ground balls and the amount of just like we just need something in the air, something, just freaking anything, man, and just not getting it, and it's like, oh, come on, guys. It's like that's really what it comes down to, and it's like, granted, game one we only had two opportunities with running in scoring position. That's already a problem in and of itself. So, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, move on. Game two was a little bit better. The offense showed up a little bit more. You got Henderson on the mound versus Rop. Um, First thing again, but another ground ball that just within two double play. It's like you had um it's just like another double play, and it's like in the first inning, it's like you had opportunities to get into scoring, like to get an early run against Rob, but failed to do so. And like that's a major problem and stuff like that. And oftentimes that can end up going backwards and stuff like that, and not working out. But luckily in this game, it did not matter. It did, but did not matter in the end. It was just like that for a couple innings or whatever. It wasn't until like the third inning when Pratt drew a walk. I think he stole second base. No, it was sacrifice bunt. That's right, sacrifice bunt from Hamilton. Triangle ground him out or whatever, and then Churio hits with a very, very good piece of hitting. Ends up getting him over and scoring him, and get that. It was like, I feel like once we got that one, it was like, all right, and especially after we failed to score that first one or whatever, it's like, all right, let's loosen up at the plate and just do what we do, man. And that's what the Brewers kind of just did. It's like they went 6 for 16. Like they had runners on all day and stuff like that, and it's like, just got to keep doing that type thing. It's like Pratt was really good. Once again, it's like Durang just broke it open as well, and like they took out Rop to put in this Brubaker. I remember that being the case. Like the Contreras tripled or whatever. Lara probably would have been in double play, but luckily he was able to beat it out. Um, Type thing, but it's like, and then the rest is kind of history. It's like the Brewers went up 7-0 or whatever, and then it was until later innings I turned off the game at that point as I was going to bed. That looks like I was curious who actually gave up the runs. It was Grant Anderson gave up the 2-run homer, probably. Looks like. Wait. Oh yeah, Eldridge. Eldridge hit the home run. That's right. Yeah, that's fine. And stuff like that. I was curious because I was like, I see Yoho pitch one, Ashley pitched a third of an inning. Then Anderson pitched 1 inning. Uribe got the last inning. I assume it's just so that we stop them from having hope, I guess. And I think it had been a while since Uribe had the last pitch, so get him some work. So overall, you took game two, 8-2. And game three, I'm not even going to really talk about. The Brewers ended up losing this one 16-3. It was a really close game for a while there. The Brewers brought up this Pantone or whatever. I think that's how you said his. I think that's how you say him. Because they wanted to use Drohan for, I think it was for the next series. Yeah, so they basically just turned it into a bullpen day with the following day off. Which I didn't particularly like, to be honest. But it's probably fine. I don't know. Like, man, I don't know. Just have Patrick start the inning or start the game or whatever. You're already doing that, or maybe just have Bryce Wilson. I don't know. That felt like a weird one to bring up, this like Pantone or whatever. And it's like, and look, he ended up giving up 3 hits, and it was like on a 3-run home run or whatever type thing. Defense didn't really show up. Mitchell dropped a ball in center field. It was just like just straight up, like not even really like fun at that point. I don't know. It was just like, Brewers would end up adding on a few, like I think it was like the fourth inning, and or whatever. I can't remember. I was like, was it that like Sanchez ended up like grounding out into double play? Like, another ground out into double play there from Churio. Sorry, Gary Sanchez with the guys in the corners because Yelich had walked, struck out or whatever. And then Mitchell ended up grounding out softly, Logan Webb, and they tried to, and they didn't really have a chance to turn two. Or that was the one where I think Bauer really kind of just snuck on the line and Webb didn't walk him back or whatever type thing. And I was thinking like, man, defense didn't play well, and then the pitching just kind of fell apart. Whether it was Patrick just couldn't get through that like fifth inning, I think it was sixth inning. Yeah, it was like the sixth inning. It's like he hit Damez, then Susik walks, and SB came on and had a stinker of an outing and stuff like that. Only got a third. I only got the one out. You have a 4, and then it was just like, all right, I guess we just ended up losing because then it just kept going and going and going and going, and it never ended up freaking stopping. Oh my god! So I don't know what it is. Whenever we go, I just personally hate playing out west. In essence, like I Oracle Park is just it's historically significant. It's a dog shit ballpark. It is. Like, the fact is that like balls that go up in the air, like, you have this swirling effect and just make it so freaking hard to do that or whatever. And I'm just like, you don't play there enough to really like warrant, learning everything and stuff like that. So it's like, I feel like whenever we come here, we always drop 2. So it is whatever. The main takeaway you can take away from this weekend is we got to stop grinding in double plays, guys. We got to get some lift on the ball or something. For the love of God, please. Just anything. It feels like if the ball goes down, the Brewers will always ground into double play. Like sinkers, cutters, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, we will always ground into double plays. And it's just like, come on, guys. Can we not do that, please? I see plenty of guys that like really, really like get into like get the bat down low and type thing and hit the ball up. Cannot tell you how much I really wish we could just hit the ball up and put it into the outfield every so often. Especially with runners in scoring position and stuff like that. But it's like, I understand hitting's hard or whatever, but it's like, come on. It really is like, I don't know if it's just like we just hit the dog days of summer type thing or whatever. It's like you're coming out of the All-Star break and you should feel good. And you had a good homestand. It's like I said, and it's like, it's going on the road, especially out west. Hate playing out west. Hate it. Mainly because I can never watch any of the games when they're during the weeks because I work early, so I can't stay up late to watch the games. And so it's really hard to do these breakdowns when you do that, when that happens. But, it is what it is type thing. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like, it feels like the Brewers never play well out west type thing. And it's like, I feel like it's really bad time to be playing bad. I don't know. It's like we're not doing that bad. It's like you got 67 wins, stuff like that. So it's like you're feeling good. I think you got about a 5.5 game lead because I think the Cubs won. You got a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs still. You're not sitting in the worst spot. You would have liked to win 2 of these, but I guess if you're gonna drop a series, this would be the series to drop. So I'll say that much. So on and so forth. Just don't worry about this Giants series. Like, good on you for taking game 2. Game 1 was kind of like, let's have the bats just come alive a little bit type thing. But if a guy like Malley is really shutting you down, that's concerning for like, especially for the playoffs and stuff like that. And I feel like it's just like, it's one of those moments where it's just like, Brewers aren't in a groove right now. And if they can get into a groove, especially like, like mid to late September type thing, be a tough team and tough team to beat, especially if you can run it into the playoffs. That'd be really, really good. That's why I was like, you don't really mind kind of skidding at this point because when you do want to be skidding, when you don't want, bleh, try that again. You don't want to be skidding at the end of the year. I feel like that's when the Brewers always play their worst and when playoff series goes bad or whatever type thing. But you do want to stay in the lead for the Central. You did build yourself a bit of cushion. You don't want to get the Cubs close, though. You don't want to give them hope that they can. So, in the end, it's what it comes down to. All right. So, out west series still continues, though, as the Brewers are in are going to be facing off against the Los Angeles Angels. I'm going to get to see Mike Trout and like Joe Dell and Zach Neto. We'll see who gets traded there. It might be interesting to see because I feel like there's a few guys for the Angels that I think that are. It depends on what the Angels are doing because I feel like the past couple of years they've bought when there should be sellers, and then this year they're sellers, but watch them still somehow buy. I don't know. It's fine. It was so yeah, game one, you got Shane Drowan, who was supposed to be pitching that last game, but ended up pushing his start to this last one against this Ryan Johnson. I don't know who this guy is. Wow, his last start against San Francisco was not good. 3 1/3, 8 earned runs. Detroit or whatever, looking like his second year in the majors. 11 starts, gonna be 12 starts. 734 ERAs. Not great. But hopefully we can take advantage of that. Funny enough, Vaughn actually has an at-bat against this guy. Interesting. Okay. Definitely when he was with the White Sox last year. That's for damn sure because nobody else has. Then we got game 2 is Robert Gasser versus Jose Soriano. I know Soriano was having like crazy start to the year. It looks like he's kind of cooled off a little bit. But overall, still pretty good. 9-6 record with a 3.29 ERA. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. How many strikeouts? 127. Respectable. That's really respectable. So that'll be a tougher game, most likely. We'll see what we get from Gasser. Hopefully we can get a good start from him. There. Same thing with Drohan. I feel like Drohan's been not so much struggling, but I feel like there's just like a few innings that kind of just blow up at him or whatever. I feel like when teams are very aggressive, he doesn't do so well because he likes to work in like ahead of the zone or ahead of like the count. But because teams know that, they will swing aggressively. That's kind of what happened in the Rockies series. So we'll see. We'll see what we can get from Drawn. And then game 3 will be Jacob Mizorowski versus this Arena. What is it? This Walbert Arena. I don't even know who the heck are these guys. I don't know. He's rookie this year. Played 19 games, started 17 with a 2.70 ERA. Interesting. So he's got. So we went. Okay, the last 3 starts. His last one was in Houston. Versus Houston, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Pretty decent. I think. What's his like major or minors time? Wow. Just called him up after that, huh? Okay. Must have been like hurt or something. Because I'm like looking at his minor league ones. It's like he only made 2 game starts, 8 1/3 innings pitched or whatever. So like I gave a bunch of earned runs. So it's 22 years old. Seems like a pretty solid pitcher for the Angels. Overall, like he's got a 6-7 record, but like a 2.70 ERA and it's like 93 innings. Not bad at all. So, but hopefully, I was like, we'll get this. I was like, we can see Jacob Mizorowski versus against Trout. That should be interesting. Against this whole Angels lineup, I feel like I don't know much about this Angels team, but. And I know they just made a trade to send away Logan O'Hoppe, and don't remember who the other guy they sent was to the Rangers. It was a pitcher. I don't remember. I don't remember. So I was like, I feel like you'll be seeing a slightly different Angels team. Not really, but I was like, they'll be without a few things, I guess. And obviously, this is the trade deadline weekend or whatever, because the trade deadline is on August 3rd, which would be that Monday. The Brewers will be playing against the Pittsburgh Pirates at the time. They come back home to face against the Pirates. So that will be interesting because you sit here and you say, and it's just like, well, what things are the Brewers going to trade, really? And I feel like it's a topic of conversation I've had on this channel almost every time, a lot of the times. And really, what it comes down to is, I think the Brewers are looking at Tarik Skubal. They're looking at it or whatever type thing. I want Tarik Skubal, but I feel like the price is just going to be too high. It's going to be higher than I want to pay. It's really what it comes down to. It's like I do want Skubal because it would greatly increase chance of winning the World Series. And obviously then it would prevent the Dodgers or whoever from getting it type thing. I just don't know how aggressive the Brewers are going to be. And if they are going to be aggressive, who are they going to be aggressive with? Because in essence, I come down to it and I sit here and I look to myself that it's like, and I think that regardless, Mate is off the market. I think that's pretty. I'm pretty confident in saying that Matt Arnold's not going to trade Mate. Should not trade Mate. He's the number one overall prospect in baseball. He's going to be huge help for this team in the future. I can say with probably a lot of confidence that he's going to be a huge help to this team. So, what does that mean? You're going to trade. Now, the targets are Andrew Fisher. I haven't seen mock trades where people are talking about putting Henderson in a deal to the Tigers for Tarik Skubal and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, just like, it's always like Logan Henderson and like Luis Pena and like Sal Frelick or something like that, or be like Andrew Fisher and stuff like that. And I'm like, frick no, don't do that. That's bad. Because I want to talk about Henderson for a second, because he pitched the game against the against the Giants that we did end up winning. And I want to talk about him for a second because I think it's worth diving into a little bit type thing. Because I would argue, and I would say with a lot of certainty, that Logan Henderson has been our best number 2 pitcher especially since Kyle Harrison has been out. I'm hoping we'll get Harrison back soon. It sounds like we'll get him back soon. But until then, it's like I was like, the Mizorowski Harrison is good, but I want to talk about what our top 3 rotation could be with Miz, Harrison, and Henderson and stuff like that, because it's like you look at his numbers type thing. It's like 7 starts in his last 7 games. That's the last 7 games. I was like, what the heck? That's not right. 9 games. He's 5-1 or whatever, and it's all because of the thing or whatever. But you look at it, it's like always 5 innings or whatever. If we can get Henderson to go a little bit more than 5 innings, I think that'd be great in his last like 3 starts. But ultimately, it's look at this. Like 7 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts, only 4 strikeouts against Miami, but still going 5 innings and only gave up 1 earned run. It's a lot of contact type thing. You don't really mind that when the Brewers have the great defense that they have. Even last year when he only made 5 starts or whatever, because I don't think the Brewers were 100% convinced he was ready for the majors yet. But he made results type thing with only being a 2-pitch pitcher, and now he's kind of adding a cutter and a little bit of a sweep, a little bit of a slider / sweeper type thing, and he's 2.66 ERA. When the guy's pitching, he's super good. Giving up Henderson would be such a bad idea. I cannot stress enough how much of a bad idea it would be to give up Henderson for Skubal. literally give them like what that Letson, I think is what his name is. I don't remember. Was that it was one of our top pitching prospects or whatever. Use that guy. I was like, or whatever. Don't, because I'm like, I want Henderson as part of this rotation. Because if the rotation, if we can get Scooble with like Pena, like Bishop Letson, I think is what his name is, and then like I don't know if you have to give up like Frelick or Perkins or Lockridge or I don't even know or whatever type thing. And it's like the thing is like they're gonna want an MLB ready thing, and I'm like, do they really necessarily need it? And if they do, I guess maybe you throw in Gasser. I don't really want to do Gasser either, but he's kind of the odd man left out if that happens. It's like give Gasser. As the Gasser has a lot of upside too. Um, type thing, but it's like the rotation with Mizorowski, Tarek Skubal, Kyle Harrison, Logan Henderson, and like Sproat or whatever, and you can drop Sproat and put him into the bullpen during the playoff series. You can go down to a 4-man rotation, or if our 4-man rotation is Miz, Skubal, Harrison, and Henderson, that's a really confident 4-man rotation right there. I'm super confident in that. It's like I have full confidence that Harrison's going to make a great recovery and stuff like that, and be really good or whatever once we can get him back type thing. We just got to get him back. It's just what it comes down to type thing. It's like we got to get him back. We got to get him doing. But overall, I cannot stress enough how much trading Henderson would be a bad move. I really do think it'd be a bad move for the Brewers to trade Henderson. Because I think he is going to be a major part of this rotation going forward. So you do also have to think about a potential bat. And I think I've talked about this once before. I think I put out a video of it. Obviously, James Wood was like the pipe dream. Like that's not going to happen type thing. So we have to think about legitimately what the Brewers could potentially get. Whether it's third base, potentially another outfielder, what's out there and stuff like that or whatever, or maybe another potential pitcher type thing. And I was like, I want to talk about the Marlins for a second, because now the Marlins seem like they're, after their 10-game losing streak, that they're not so much selling, but it's like it feels like they're more open to selling and stuff like that. So it's like I want to talk about guys like Xavier Edwards or Otto Lopez type thing. Don't think they're going to get, and I don't think the Brewers would want to get rid of get any of those guys. Is this that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not really, because the thing is, like, there's not much for bats that I necessarily want, and there's not going to be any like, oh, just kind of get him over type bats or whatever type thing. The only one I could think of is maybe Stowers, but I know he's not having a great year, and he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Yeah, not his greatest year of all time, but it's not terrible. I think does offer a bit more of club control. So, yeah, he debuted in 2022, so, or whatever type thing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like your main issue is you want to get pitching, right? And no, I know there's a lot of talk or whatever, but it's like getting like a guy like Uri Perez or like a Sandy Alcantara. Just saying, just saying, be really cool. We'll see. Honestly, it's like I just don't want like I feel like this weekend is going to be I'm just gonna be annoyed all weekend, because you're gonna hear all these talks about how the Brewers are gonna put together like trades. They're gonna send Andrew Fisher to whoever type thing, and just real fast, I want to point out Andrew Fisher for a second. just really fast, because I think that his page is also worth looking at, type thing as well. And why the Brewers should not trade Fisher, obviously no picture, but you look at and it's like, I know this is only single A and double A type thing. He's going to be up in triple A. I'm have to bet that's going to happen type thing. But it's like you look at these numbers. I'm like 1,100, 1,000 OPS type thing, 1,100 OPS, and like high A plus, double A, 13 homers, 24 RBIs, 48 strikeouts. There's a lot of strikeouts too. Only 22 walks. He's striking out a lot, but overall numbers are still good. I mean, look at the average. The average is 269, but the on base percentage is 386. 386 with a 672 OP or slugging percentage for over 1,000 OPS. Like I've said, type thing. Can I stress enough how much the Brewers need a guy like this in their lineup? Like, I cannot stress enough, type thing. Well, he doesn't really fit the Brewers' way and stuff like that. And I'm like, but but look, last year told us that you do need the home run hitters. You do need a guy that does that or whatever type thing. And if you can get in, like, and it's just like, okay, you have Fisher play first base, Mate play third or shortstop or whatever type thing. It'll be interesting to see how they align the infield type thing. We'll see if we even see these guys in the majors next season to start the season. I feel like we're going to see them in the majors next season, at least one of the two, if not just both. But it's like especially if Fisher can do this in AAA. Be amazing. That'd be amazing, dude. Like I just like I see Andrew Fisher and I just think of like what the Brewers missed out on Murakami, basically by not signing Murakami, and like the White Sox signed him for effectively nothing and stuff like that. And so it's just like man, could you imagine if the Brewers had Murakami and stuff like that? So it's like Andrew Fisher with that, and I believe he's a right-handed bat too. He's a left-handed bat. That's fine. So many left-handed bats. But that's why it's like having a guy like Lara or Made and even Pratt in the lineup type thing is going to be huge. It's going to be huge for the Brewers because it's just like it'll offset all these lefties, like guys like Churio, Pratt, Lara, Made, who are both switch hitters type thing. So it's like you can play some whatever type thing. William Contreras, even Joey Ortiz or whatever type thing or whatever. But it's like, it's going to be interesting to see how they align this team in the future. But obviously we're thinking about it now type thing. But I'm sitting here going just like, you look at Fisher and I'm sitting here going just like, he is off the table in my mind. Anyone even brings up his name, don't even entertain it. Don't even think about it. And remember, we saw Fisher in the WBC and he was really good. He was really good. He was doing this against major leaguers type thing, man. Like he was hitting doubles and singing, like, it was just like he played for Team Italy. What are we doing? Played for Team Italy, and Team Italy was good. Oh man, if the Brewers trade Andrew Fisher, I feel like it's gonna end up biting us in the butt, especially for a rental like Scooble. Like we don't much rather see him in the major leagues in a year or two. Like I said, if he does this in AAA, you could even potentially see him as a September call up, him or Made, for this year. This year, that's crazy to think about this year. Type thing, and just because we're on, we're talking about him or whatever type thing. Can I just? No, okay. Just gonna have to look. Zeus. Let's top 100 prospects. No, it's the 25. Yes. I have 5. Okay, here we are. It's like you just go like, damn, dude. It's like just looking at 2026 or whatever. It's like 10 home runs, 67 RBIs is really good for only 10 homers, 41 walks, 29 strikeouts. So he's not striking out at all. Type thing. Averages 276 OP of that, and then slugging of 4 of that for 789 OPS or whatever. That's fine in essence because it's like you're a switch hitter. There's so much upside. You're still so young. He's 19 years old, damn it, for God's sakes, or whatever type thing. That's why I don't feel like we're going to see him in the majors this year, but you never know, man. Type thing. It's like he's been doing well type thing, and that's all the more reason type thing. It's like you look at his recent yeah, those are past games where wow, why does it do that? I don't know. Like his July splits, like not a particularly great month in July by the looks of it so far. Yeah, so far, it's almost the end of the month, pretty much. But like, probably why his numbers fallen so much. But it's like he has big games, man. I don't know. He's a game changer and stuff like that. I just wanted to take a look at Made's numbers while I was here, type thing, just because I was like, yep, this is the reason why he is not on the market whatsoever, type thing. If Lara is the start of it, type thing, then I think, if like Jesus Mate is similar to what Lara is giving us, and Lara's having I know Lara's was having a breakout year in the minors prior to this and stuff like that, and sometimes things just click, you know. Like I feel like that's just what happened with Lara, and that's why the Brewers ended up signing him. So it's just like something clicked overall, and that's great because that's exactly what you needed type thing. And he's putting it together in the majors, so it's like if Mate can figure that out, and it's like, and things are already kind of clicking for him and stuff like that, and so it's like, and if something just activates or whatever, because I'm still, to be honest with you, I'm still waiting for Churia to put it all together type thing. He's got such good stuff type thing, and it feels like when the lights are the brightest, he's at his best type thing. Same thing with Mizorowski. When the lights are brightest, he is at his best, and that cannot be stated enough and stuff like that. So it's like sometimes that's really what it comes down to, and it's like I would bet you Made's going to get the push up to AAA once the AA season is over, which I think is soon. Ish. I don't know when like the AA season ends, but I know it ends fairly soon, fairly early. I think because you oftentimes see guys that were kind of dominating AA get moved up to AAA, and then you'll see some rearranging of the minor leagues and stuff like that. So it's like, but I could see like guys like Made, guys like Fisher go from AA to AAA type thing, finish out the year in AAA, and then get this invite to spring training again, and then see where it is from there, and what the teams have in mind for them. That's why it's like you can't trade Fisher, and it's like it's like let's look at Brewers' top prospects. Let's just look at that. So obviously Mate, Pena. I know there's like Pena. I feel like is one of the kind of like the odd man out. Pratt's still on here, but he's in the majors. Same thing with Lara. I know Jet. It's the guy we got from the Mets, obviously. Curious in how he's been doing as of late. Almost like you wonder if he could potentially be there. Like, 726 OPS. Where's there? It's not bad. What? Oh, this pulls up Savant. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I don't. I'm not gonna go through all of this. That's crazy. But yeah, that Bishop Letson. I know this guy has also been really this Tyson Harding has really been going up into our things, whatever. Where's the I don't know. It was like I don't know, people are talking about like trading, and Wilkins really fallen. Terribly shocked there. one guy in particular I was looking for. That thing is like, didn't I just see Fisher? Where did I see Fisher? Oh yeah, he's like number 7 in our. Yeah, we don't need to be trading all that. And it's like, is it this Payne or is it who is it again? Maybe it is. What's his outfield? I thought he was a first baseman. It's Blake Burke, because that's the guy that the Brewers drafted off of the trade for what's his wow, Burns. um this is one of the guys we drafted, and he's been rising through that. He's first baseman. So yeah, depending on how the Brewers want to shape the infield or whatever, and obviously when these guys, these guys are in the majors, they're doing great. I think they're going to continue to be up there type thing. These two are going to be interesting. Pena, I feel like if is the guy I would most likely deal type thing. 19 into high A. Seems like it's going to be a while for him type thing, as like the ETA is 2028. Depending on how well he does going up to that, but it's like Made is just untouchable. These two are obviously going to just be a part of this team. That's why we signed him type thing. This guy, Andrew Fisher, I think should be untouchable. I don't know much about this Ovechkin. I don't know how you say his name. But how has he been doing? He's also in Double A. OPS of almost 9, so pretty good. It's just so much young talent here and type thing. And then maybe that's a reason to trade it to try and win now, but I don't want to trade it for a rental. I don't. I just don't. I just don't. There's some guys you'd probably be okay with trading type thing, but there's a lot of them that I'm sitting here going just like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Like, don't want to trade Fisher, don't want to trade Made. Depending on what it is, I could be okay with Pena, just because I kind of feel like he's the odd guy out. Really comes down to whether or not they're keeping Terang over the next couple of years, and where the infield kind of falls into place, I guess. Maybe potentially moving some of these guys to the outfield. Like, I know Jeff Williams has played a bit of the outfield type thing. And then it's like, but the outfield's also kind of stacked at the moment, too. Because you obviously got, like, Lara in the outfield. You got Garrett Mitchell in the outfield. You got Churio in the outfield. So you sit here going just like, we only got 3 spots in the outfield. And I just named 3 guys that I want to be playing in the outfield. So, ultimately, what it comes down to it is, I don't know. I don't know. It really depends. It really, 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 really depends. And I could sit here going over trade talk all over the place and stuff like that, and going forward, blah 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 blah. This is my plea to Matt Arnold, to the Brewers, that I'm okay with trading a few prospects, especially to try and win now. Might help really just amp up this team and really slingshot them forward type thing. It's just like getting a guy like Skubal and giving up like Henderson and Pena and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here going just like for a rental, for a guy that is not going to sign with you type thing. Like, it's like people compare it to, 2008 with CC Sabathia and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I love the CC move too and stuff like that. But it's like the Brewers have continued success with these young guys type thing. And to trade these young guys that have so much promise when, I don't know, there's a few holes in the infield type thing, like still not fully convinced that about first base. I'm still not, and third base is still a question mark. Shortstop seems to be a bit like I'm good with Pratt there. I'm good with like Ortiz there at times type thing. Second base is obviously Terang for as long as we're going to keep him. Absolutely 100% keep Terang if you can. It's just like it. And so, like, that's the infield. The outfield, obviously, is going to be left is going to be Churio. And then center field is kind of like, could be Lara, could be Mitchell.
Mitchell's kind of like a 50-50. Like when he's hot and he's on a bender, dude, he is unstoppable. But when he is struggling, he is struggling. I mean, same thing with Churio, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like your biggest need is pitching. And if you can get pitching for a couple years, I think, or whatever type thing, or I don't know. It's like I sit here looking at it next year, and it's like, okay, hopefully we'll have Priester back. Still have Harrison, Henderson, Mizralski, and then hopefully Sproat can put it together type thing over an off season. I think if you can give Sproat an off season type thing, he'd be really good. Stuff like that. Like throw on Gasser is being getting stronger with every outing. It feels like, and so it's like you got pitching and stuff like that. It's just like it's this like it's just not quite there at the moment type thing. The bullpen is a legitimate concern though, but we don't need to be trading for Mason Miller. I think there's some good like reliever help somewhere. I'm not an expert. I'm especially not for bullpen help, so I'm not even going to speculate on what that comes down to. But ultimately, I think there's moves to be made. Don't think that we shouldn't be trading Andrew Fisher. I definitely don't think we should be trading Made. Doesn't sound like we're going to be trading Made. That's good. But just don't trade Fisher. I think everyone in the everyone for the Brewers, and don't trade Henderson either. Like don't do that. Come on, guys. You know better than that. All right. I really wanted to hammer that point in because I just don't want to see it happen type thing. But we do have a weekend against the Angels type thing. We'll see what happens in the trade deadline going forward. We'll see what moves the Brewers do make. I think they're going to make some moves. I'm not sure what that is going to mean in the end. Because I do think that they do want another starter and they do want another bullpen arm. But we will see going forward from there. So, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Let's go get them Angels and subscribe to this channel. I'm a little bit lower energy because I'm a little bit tired today, and I'm trying to not go like, but overall, let's just go and beat the Angels. Let's just do their thing type thing and continue to do it. And don't worry about the Cubs. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing and stuff like that. I think if I'm not mistaken, you're still tied with the Dodgers are a game up on us. I guess, was it game and a half technically? For like best record in baseball. Fact is, you're still right there, dude. Like you're still right there. Like yeah, the Cubs are the Cubs are like just behind the Atlanta Braves in like wins right now type thing. So it's like you're still doing fine. Just keep on keeping on. Let's just try and get the offense to get with some little consistency. That's all I ask. So anyway, enough rambling. This video is already way too long. So thank you all again. I'll see you all on Monday when we break down this Angels series, as well as potentially talking about moves that Brewers may or may not make. They probably will, but we'll see what they do. Anyway, see y'all Monday. Bye bye.